Mood.tv.
Well, we ain't on the road, haven't left the boat in weeks, and no risk of drowning, safely anchored to our streets. Last week was quite a doozy, this week we'll take it slow. Doesn't mean you shouldn't buckle, it gets rocky on this boat. No anchor can hold us, no muzzle can silence. We'll roam in our heads, and I'll find a way to not shut up. Houseboat. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Houseboat. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Houseboat. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Houseboat. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. All right, we are officially live, episode 9. Oh yeah! See, when we do it like that, it makes it sound like we just did this live. Full band, you guys can take a break. Thank you.
I played both guitars at the same time.
You can stop doing that now.
I'm so good.
We were all doing multiple vocals at the same time. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to episode 9 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. Mr. Midnight Jack saying best intro ever. And
I'm going to say this right now. I don't know who anybody is.
I'm
so
not
Midnight
100%
Jack,
sure. I thought it was Steve at first, but I'm before you answer, Midnight Jack, I'm venturing a guess that your name is Thami. If I'm wrong,
maybe don't answer. Maybe
don't answer if you don't want us. But that's my guess right now. I'm really confused, but I'm enjoying it. And you at a future time and place, if you're listening to this and you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, join us live on YouTube every Tuesday, 9-ish. Give or take minutes. 10 minutes, 15 sometimes. We're pretty much on time. But when you join us live, you get to hear the music before everybody else does. You get to interact with us in the live chat that appears on the screen as well. And speaking of chatting, the people that I am chatting with, as always, I have Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Hello.
And Mr. Zachary Storman. We all know that's his middle name. This week he is drinking a natural ice and a, what is this? A Zivish.
Is that how you say it?
I say a Zivish.
How do you say it?
Zywick?
It's Polish.
It's Zywick. I'm not from Poland.
Really good.
I don't have an accent.
I don't have an accent.
It's a Polish porter. It's very heavy.
Very heavy. What's the alcohol percentage?
It's like 9 or something.
9. Okay, so you got a 9%
9.5
and a 1.5.
So a sip of this, a sip of that, a sip of
all
this,
right.
a sip of that.
That porter, a pint of porter is very hard to fucking.
Yeah.
I've already had one today.
Have you gone through this entire 6-pack here?
No, I had one of them already.
Days ago,
Yeah. All right.
They're great when they're sitting out like this.
Yeah, they're good warm.
Oh, they're supposed to be.
Well, yeah, it's Polish beer. They made it before there were refrigerators.
Cellar cold. That's what Bruce said. So
Cellar cold?
A little bit warmer. Sitting in the
No,
house.
this house is cellar cold. This is a cellar cold house.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which this week
it's actually warmer in the cellar than it is up here.
Yeah. Well, it's nice this week. Last week or the week before we had no AC and that was terrible. This week it doesn't matter because it's beautiful out. It's June and it feels like April. You gotta love it. And then tomorrow it'll rain all day, and then you gotta hate it. Especially you. You work outside.
I'll be out in the rain.
You'll be out in the rain. Oh Jesus. Speaking of rain, really awesome natural segue there. In the last couple of weeks, there has been a wonderful thing has happened. Weezer has released a cover of Toto's Africa, which we all know is the greatest song ever written.
Yeah.
It is even more so now that I sent a video that I doubt either of you watched. It's a 10-minute video on the making of
I did not watch that.
Yeah, I didn't think you did. The guy says that he knew, I think, a missionary when he was younger who said that when they were in Africa, they would bless the rains because they would bless everything. And then he remembered that and one day was watching one of those terribly depressing commercials about kids in other countries. Oh. And he went over to his synth and just started dun 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 dun, and that just came out. And then he starts talking about how he was being controlled by God, and God put the song through him, which makes it kind of not the best song ever. But either way, he wrote that and Rosanna, which also was covered by Weezer. So it kind of made me think: should Weezer just only cover not just Toto, but just
do covers
good 70s and 80s? Sure. Like, why not? It'd be great. Maybe not strictly. You can write your good song here and there.
They can write the whatever and play it in fucking Tokyo all day.
Yeah.
Long. They come over and be like, "Hey, here's our cover album."
Here's our cover album.
Go back over there and write an actual album.
Yeah. I think, and Rivers does do like solo, like independent, like on his own music, and that stuff's usually good and depressing and weird in the way that he writes. But yeah, so that was something cool. The story.
You were excited about it.
Oh yeah, I was very excited.
As soon as I saw it, I was like,
apparently it's
Kyle's
like teenage girl. This teenage girl on Twitter just trolled them for like a year about it, and then they trolled her because she just was like, you need to cover, Africa to be the greatest song, blah, 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 for you to cover it, and just on and on and on. And then they kind of trolled her by instead releasing Rosanna.
Okay.
And let it go for like almost a week, I think, and then they dropped Africa.
Good song, yeah.
It's a great song, and they cover it, and I don't know, maybe it's not the most impressive thing ever, but it's just fun. Those songs really give Patrick Wilson range to play drums, which is awesome because he oftentimes just keeps a rock steady, simple, awesome beat.
AC/DC,
oh yeah, you're a great drummer, but you're not doing much outside the box. Yeah. So yeah, that was something cool that I thought was happening. Another thing in kind of pop culture, but then in Zach, more you're and Justin, you are mechanically minded. I'm not. Cars are pretty and some of them go fast. That's pretty much where I go. There's oil, you can pay a guy to change it for you. Sure. That's pretty much where we lie on this. But the cool thing that I saw came out is they did the Steve McQueen Bullet Mustang. Yeah. The I don't know if it's a re-release or whatever you would call it. You were looking it up and get familiar with it. What exactly are we looking at here with this? Because the original car it's a Mustang. It's just beautiful. It's fast, and the chase scenes in that movie are still lauded as the greatest chase scenes like in the history.
The movie was so cool it made everyone want that Mustang.
Yeah.
Right.
But the new one that they're calling the Bullet is just an appearance package on your basic Mustang.
Okay.
GT.
And you said the reason that's happening now
is because apparently there's a documentary coming out about how some couple 50 years ago bought the Bullet Mustang that was used in the movie and put it in their garage and never told anyone. For 50
and
years.
Obviously that means you never didn't want to joyride with that, because the second you take that out anywhere, someone's gonna be like, someone's got the Bullet car.
Yeah.
Like anybody that was alive. I mean, we weren't alive in 1968 and we would recognize it.
Yeah.
I don't know cars and I would recognize it. I'd be like, is that the one from Gone in 60 Seconds or that other fast action movie? But I would be talking about the James Caan original because just kind of a jerk like that.
All right,
yeah. I do things like that. Yeah. Be a jerk. Yeah. All right, so this car comes out and they're charging what, $47,000 you said for the base?
$47,000 for it, which is very expensive.
What does the base Mustang right now go for?
Well, it's not a base Mustang, it's still a GT.
Okay.
Yeah, so what? Automatically paying more.
GT is like for the bottom of the barrel GT. You know what I mean? Like no extras, just that is like 38, something like that.
So right off the bat, $9,000 more.
For seats, paint, and probably a certificate of authenticity from Ford that says that this is our special badge Bullet version. And
there's nothing really emblem-wise on it.
They took some of the emblems off the front and stuff. So it's
less.
It's an appearance package.
Okay.
Car companies have been doing this
For a long time.
forever to charge a whole bunch of
also
money, you know?
the other companies that want to relive that, like what they're doing with the Firebirds.
Yeah.
That's totally... They
No, I know,
redo
but
the whole car.
They
though.
redo the whole car, but it's still based on that. Like to do, I understand that you're getting performance upgrades and whatnot, but to even do that, it's another, I think, 40 grand or something. Like
yeah, but that's a total, like, they're changing. This is...
No, I know.
Ford is really being lazy with this one.
So, I know that company is, but it's an outside company. It's not like you're getting it from fucking...
Yeah, you're saying that there's another company that basically you can pay X amount and they will...
and they'll do the conversion. You're paying for all those parts.
All right.
But
see, now that kind of... The thought that I had with this kind of combines both of those ideas. If... Aside from this vehicle being like lost for 50 years, so they didn't have the original, they knew how to, if they wanted to rebuild that car from scratch, they have the schematics to make that. Why doesn't Ford just re-release the original 68 Bolt? They cannot.
With laws and stuff, you can't re-release something.
That's the main.
I mean, because it's
you
ever
been in a car from the 70s?
Yeah.
You know how unsafe that shit
Oh yeah.
is?
So how much of a change would you have to make it legal?
Would have to be higher. The front end would have to be rounded.
Because the whole idea of going up underneath another car.
It wouldn't look like the original anymore.
Okay. So,
but somebody can make a kit. I'm sure someone makes a kit car.
Kit car and do it.
So that's the reason that, like, even just for like, okay, so the fact that one of those cars can exist on the road though right now as an antique vehicle is because it's
an antique, but you can only drive it so much.
So
can you just register as a regular car?
You can register as a regular.
If the car's 25 years old, you there's
classic.
really a lot of people. You can
classic.
register as a classic, but there's a lot of things that just don't matter, or people look the other way.
That's really crazy to think that if I still had it, my 1992 Hyundai would be a classic car right now.
You could.
It would be a classic.
1992 car would not be legal to be reproduced. Just
really?
Because.
See, that's shit I don't know.
Because of how low the car is. Like,
okay.
And a car company would never. You know the cost to how many could they make? They couldn't make 2 million of them. They're not going to sell you know what I mean? Like that's not.
But just to be able to charge somebody, to be able to charge like on a specialty side, to charge somebody $150,000 for this car, like on that level, not worth it.
Because they could sell however many of these they're making. They're probably making thousands of these.
Yeah.
And you know how easy it is to make this?
Yeah, they're just strapping a couple things off.
You know what I mean? It's a very simple process to take a regular production car that they're making millions and millions of.
Because
in the 70s they did the same thing.
Well, in Russia, their standards are different. Some of their cars look exactly the same as they've always looked. They just make the same car.
Because they bought all the old machines from the old companies.
Okay, that makes sense.
China is full of there's brand new cars in China that look like old 2004s, BMWs, Range Rovers, because that stuff was out of date.
So they bought
where they made it. You know what I mean? They had to make new machines to make new, safer cars.
Yeah.
In China, they just bought up the machines that make those cars, and then they make them and swap the emblems.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Okay. So the whole idea of doing anything like that would have to be done by an outside third party company, like you were talking about with the.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not legally changing the outside look. It's modifying that car. It's basically taking a what is it?
No, they're completely changing the look of that one.
No, they're rechanging the look, but they can't change the shape of the car. It still has to sit as high as it does. It doesn't look like the original. Yes,
okay.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like you don't bring them a new car and they make it look like.
Yeah.
They make it similar.
Yeah.
But within the confines of what they have to do.
Of the car that they're using, which is the Camaro.
It's a Camaro, yeah.
So they're modifying the Camaro, turning it into a Trans Am, making it look like a Firebird with Burt Reynolds.
With Burt, and that's the other cool thing for that story is he is signing every single one of them that they make.
Only the black edition one.
The black, yeah. So that's Smokey, right?
Smokey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm. All right. Well, that's I just always thought
But if you want one, I'm sure you could go buy a fiberglass body to a fastback Mustang.
I understood 3 of those words.
If you want one, you could go buy a fiberglass body.
That's where you lost me. Yep.
You know fiberglass?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You buy a kit car. You know what I mean? You can have any car you want.
What?
If a rock hits you, you're gonna shatter your whole fucking car.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. That happened with my Hyundai. I was driving down Fawn Road, and I went off the road to do a U-turn, and there was just a little like divot that you couldn't see, and I just like clipped the side, or like where the road dipped down kind of drastically, and it just shattered the whole front. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Yeah, no, I didn't like that.
Light. You can shape it however you want, but it sucks.
I bet you that Hyundai. What year was it?
92.
Yeah, I bet you that wasn't even fiberglass. That was just the shittiest plastic
Oh,
that Korea could make.
I bet.
Sure.
I bet. It wasn't good. Korea. They do some things right. They do some things wrong.
They do modern cars pretty fucking good though.
Yeah.
New Kias and Hyundais.
The lower Korea we're talking, the lower half of
South
that.
Korea,
Yeah, South Korea. That's what it's called. Yeah.
South Korea, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what they fucking drive in North Korea.
I don't. Do they have cars?
I think they ride around in tanks.
Somebody has to.
time.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets a
Hummers?
lot of things shipped in.
Probably.
illegally.
Oh.
Yeah, Hummers and.
Well,
The
soon you
average
don't
person
know.
drives a rickshaw.
There could be a lot of American stuff going there. Maybe and to segue into something else. Maybe they'll get stuff like fast food and shit. Like IHOP.
Oh yeah.
Like IHOP. Which
Oh,
did you
no!
hear?
Oh my gosh.
Did you hear? IHOP is changing their name for a short period of time to IHOB, International House of Burgers.
They're making burgers only.
No. They're just spotlighting their burgers. They're still making pancakes. And Wendy's had the greatest.
Well, then I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Wendy's had a great tweet that said, "I wouldn't trust the burgers from a place that can't handle pancakes."
Wait, does IHOP before they did this? Did they have burgers?
Yeah, they have burgers.
and
It's
stuff
like
you can
it's
get.
like if you go to
Friendlies, dude.
Denny's, Friendlies. If you go to Waffle House, you can get a burger. Waffle House
Which
even
was
commented, they're like,
always
"We
weird.
sell burgers, but we're not changing our name to anything else."
Burger House.
Yeah, Burger House. I mean, that's probably already 30 of them there.
There's only a few things to get at Waffle House, and that's herpes,
Yeah,
meth,
yeah,
or shot.
and you can get most of them from the same person.
Yeah.
I think you could.
You probably.
Oh, man.
It's very good chance.
The amount of fight videos I've seen with people just working at Waffle Houses.
Waffle Houses, IHOPs. I'm sure some Golden Corral fights.
Perkins.
The Golden Corral, like
Ooh, yeah.
where they just have after hours fight offs. Yeah,
Oh,
it'd be good. See, Golden Corral's in my
Awesome,
head
buddy.
because earlier today I was listening to Let Me Ask You a Question, our sister sister
They're
podcast.
transitioning.
They're transitioning. Well, actually, yeah, Anthony is moving right now, so he is transitioning.
Yeah, from one house to another.
From
That's
one
what I
house
meant.
to another. But they were talking about just for whatever reason, International House of Pancakes and Waffle House and that. Or no, they were talking about Golden Corral. That's what it was. They were talking about Golden Corral. And I was just like, they're like, what do you think happens to the fondue fountain after hours? And Anthony said something to the effect of like, do you think they're just like shoving their dicks in there? Like, and I don't know, because I've seen some videos of like how they store food at Golden Corral. There was like a kid who got fired who got angry, so he walked in with his phone through like their alleyways where their garbage was and recorded all of the meat that was waiting to be cooked just sitting out in the sun.
Jesus.
Like just video, and then like went in and like took a look and then left and then posted it.
Wait, he stole some?
No,
I'm
I don't
taking
think he
this
stole it.
fucking hot beef.
I'm taking this hot, slow cooked sun beef.
Sun dried, dude. It's
Sun-dried
That's how you
beef.
make suntae,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's the
When it
same
starts
concept.
turning green and
You take
yellow,
a fucking-
it's done.
You take a jar
Yeah.
with some ground beef and let it cook in the sun. There you go.
Oh, oh Jesus! All right. Well, while
That's the
that's
best way
All
to
right,
go.
that's what we'll be blind taste.
blind taste testing,
Sun-dried meats.
sun-dried
next
meats
week.
next week. We're gonna slow roast some turkey.
Over 3 to 4 days.
3 to 4 days.
Sun.
Give or take some
Hopefully
rainy
it
days.
doesn't rain.
Yeah. Are we just gonna leave it out there if it rains?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
All right.
suck
can't
up
fuck
that
the
moisture.
process.
Oh yeah.
What
That's
tastes
good.
better than rainwater?
Not toilet water, I'd bet. I would think not toilet water. Oh. All right, so we're gonna head to our first break. When we got back, we got a little different style segment that we're gonna be doing. The first break, we're gonna have a music supplied by Improvised Bombing, a band from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Really
It's a
cool.
serious name.
It's a really, really fucking cool song. And I am sad that I just cannot pronounce. Justin, can you help me out with the name of this
Hold
song?
on. Yes, 1 second. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
We fucked up.
We fucked up.
But Improvised Bombing, I'm not sure if they're playing anywhere anytime soon. But check them out. You can check them out on their Bandcamp, which is improvised bombing. F, is that an F?
Improvised bombing one.
Oh, I'm blind. Right. So improvised bombing
the name
one.
Of the song, I'm sorry for mispronouncing this. Amaranthine.
Amaranthine.
Yeah, God,
Something.
I can't fucking speak
Amaranthine.
Amaranthine.
Is that
where?
No, no clue. Well, welcome to
cool.
Really Good at Reading. So here, check out this song. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Clang, clang. Yeah.
No. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 9 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. That was music from Improvised Bombing.
I like that.
That was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
A Maranthine, if we could pay attention to the lyrics earlier more, we would have gotten that.
Yeah.
But we just sat there and actually fully listened to like the end lyrics, and you can clearly hear it there. So this second segment that we're doing today is going to be a little bit different.
Yes.
So every year for, I don't know, how long is
For
it?
25
all
years?
of time.
25 years,
Or
all
maybe,
of time.
Maybe even longer, 30 years. Who the fuck knows?
E3,
Yes.
which E3 is what?
Electronics. I think it's electronics. E3.
Electronics, entertainment, and elongation.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm bad with that.
Yeah.
I just noticed.
All right, so they do video games
they
mostly.
Used to do, I think that's where
It's a conference, right?
it's a conference. Yeah,
Okay.
for all the latest video game shit that's coming out.
Okay.
Whether it's a console, video game, whatever. Big developers have gotten to the point where they have massive fucking showings now. So Xbox has their own thing, Sony has their own thing, and then developers also do it. Bethesda did one. A bunch of other companies are also doing it. It's a week-long event, but I think it originally started.
Is it a
out
week
like-
long? A
yeah.
week long event? All right.
Originally, I think it started out as like electronics and video games.
Okay.
And then the video game part just got so big. So I think that's why they have what is it, CES?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consumer electronics.
Yeah. So that's spawned
Summit?
into its own thing, and that's in Vegas. But this is in
Okay.
California.
This is in California. All right.
So either way, the big reveals for a lot of the games that people have been waiting for.
Okay. Is this like the Comic-Con for
Oh,
video
yeah.
games?
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
Are people dressing up?
Yes.
Oh,
Full
yeah.
blown.
Full-blown.
big
People are
appearances?
waiting, like 3 hours to play a fucking game for 15 seconds.
Are there
15 minutes.
Q&As like they do?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Big room thing. Okay.
It's big
All right.
time.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
It's
I'm
big.
way behind on this.
Yeah.
big.
And video games.
Yeah. So that's why with this happening, as it's happening, a lot of big reveals came out in the last 2 days.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Microsoft did their Expo, Bethesda did, Sony was yesterday. And, watching some of these, I was like thinking about people that don't necessarily play video games, but should play specific ones.
Which would be me, because I don't play video games
But when
until
you get into
I
a
play
game where
one
you're just,
video
like,
game.
fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's absolutely crazy.
I don't really like. I don't like the idea of, okay, I'm going to do this for hours on end, because I have the personality and the type that would just be like, nope, this is what I do now.
Yeah, but
So there's part of that.
Sure.
But then also I just got really discouraged the first time I played like Halo, and I was like, I have to control everywhere I'm looking on this thing. Like, fuck that. And I just after that I was like, everybody plays the shooter games. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, but
I'd
there
rather play
are
Duck
other
Hunt.
games out there
They're
that
more
is
entertaining.
Legitimately movies like
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human is much as people have bashed that game for what it is.
Okay.
Like that's the type of game where you could play. It's an interactive movie where you make choices to
Okay.
fucking alter the storyline, and then you can replay it to get different results and whatnot.
Like those Goosebumps novels.
Okay, so
Where you
okay.
could just
That's
click
the
to
way it
choose
needs
your
to
own
be.
adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah,
That's the way to
exactly.
sell it to me, because I will still read a Goosebump novel and choose my own adventure. But yeah, video games, it's just always like, it's the idea of like sitting down and dedicating all this time to playing something. And then also, like, I don't do a lot of activities that frustrate me.
Sure.
And watching you guys play certain video games just is terrifying. Dark Souls is supposed to be fun, I thought. You guys
it's
literally,
not fun. It's
you
not a fun
hate
time.
it. You guys with that game, it's like a cop who just hates crime and dealing with bad guys. He's like, oh, but I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
Mhm.
All right, so
So I'm going to show you trailers of games I think you should play.
all right, and if you're watching live, you get to see the video.
Yes,
If you're
you're going
watching
to
at a
see the
different
video.
time on YouTube, it'll still be there. And don't worry, Sony and all you other people, we'll give you your credit.
Yes,
We're
this
not
is-
making any money here,
No.
so just deal with it. We're reviewing you
And we're talking over it,
very
so, I mean,
superficially. I don't play video games. Justin is trying to sell me. You realize that if he does succeed here and I start playing your video games, I will play them so much. You will have 12s of my dollars.
Yeah.
12s of them every week. So just back off, all right?
Yeah.
So you're going to get to actually watch this,
Yes.
watch along with us. And if you're listening on a podcast format later for
You'll
this
hear
one,
it.
you'll hear it.
Sorry.
Check out the video on YouTube for this episode, which is episode 9. I forgot what the title was. No, I know what it is. All right, so we're gonna start. What is the first one we're getting into?
So the first one is The Last of Us 2. It's a second part
Okay.
of a game that's already been out by Naughty Dog. Now, the reason I'm picking this one, I think it looks incredible.
Okay.
The improvements that they've made in the game, like subtle movements, like the way video games are going, it's starting to look and feel like you're actually going.
So you're saying this looks like Andromeda?
No, not in any sense. It has no.
Jokes I don't get.
But just watch it. I feel like the story would bring you in, regardless of
Okay.
what the story is.
See, because I am also known to watch people play video
Sure.
games for hours. Because despite you guys screaming, throwing things, and shouting obscenities while playing Dark Souls, it's entertaining as hell to watch.
All right, so
And
I'm gonna
visually
go
it's
ahead
cool.
and start this, but I want you to really think. Would
All
you
right.
play this game?
Would I play this game?
Did it sell you?
Yeah.
And if not, would you watch it, or what you actually think?
All right. Well, we're gonna check this one out. Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
And not seeing the sequel or the first one isn't gonna mess me up storyline
It
wise.
might, but we can go over that.
Am I gonna have to know who like Rob was and what he did with Jenny to make this all make sense?
No.
I don't know
Alright.
either. I never played this
All right.
stupid game.
So we're Naughty Dog.
You're following. It's following Ellie, and Ellie has some powers.
All right. Well, so far it looks
And
real as
she's
shit.
being hunted.
All right. They're dancing the way they would dance in Shrek, like that amount of animation, like the movement, but they look better because they're not ogres and stuff. That is creepy.
Yeah.
I think the level of video games, like
Just wait till it gets to the gameplay, and you see the little touches, like when she puts her hand up on the wall. Like,
I think Sweat was a level we didn't need to get to with imagery in video games. Oh, this guy looks intense. I'm wearing a Henley.
I like a good Henley.
A good Henley, man.
Don.
is a great Henley.
It's one of my favorite Henleys.
Kind of looks like Uriah from this angle.
a little bit.
That
Uriah, if you ever
that
listen
girl
to
looks
this.
like somebody I used to know as well.
Oh, she does look like somebody you used to know. But now she's just somebody that you used to know. All right.
I know where this is going. I saw the splash of this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily particularly care where this part's going.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, when it actually gets into
So when you're playing this game, do you actually have to sit through the story? Like, do you
Yeah, you
watch
sit
through
through
it?
the story.
Okay.
And I'll tell you...
And you're not controlling it in
Here,
any way
ready
here.
for this?
I'll tell you, the first game had the best opening to any game ever.
I thought you were going
I
to say the
felt-
best sex scene ever in a video game because of where she's leading her to the dance floor.
The first game was super fucked up. Like, the intro, like, there's no way you could not feel terrible.
But in what way? Oh, okay.
Like, terrible. Like, just pure terror and fucking heartache.
Wait,
From
so
a
this is
video
a
game.
toy with you emotionally game?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I was waiting for someone to eat a mushroom or something. My dad level knowledge of video games, circa 1994.
Yeah.
You got the Segas?
Dude, this lonesome.
You got the new
Banjo
Segas?
Is really getting to me.
You like the Lonesome Banjo?
Oh man.
That would be a good name for this episode too.
Lonesome
The Lonesome Banjo.
Yeah.
We could just that should be our country album when we
I
do
need
that.
to get me a banjo.
Lonesome Banjo.
Oh. When you watch this long enough, she just looks like a real person. But then you switch to the other girl, and it's the sweat on her
Yeah.
nose that's like weirding me out. I think the freckles really work in making it look more realistic because usually just your skin just looks too perfect.
Yeah.
Oh no, what's she gonna do?
I don't know.
This looks terrifying.
What
I
are
feel
we
like she's
gonna
about to
do?
snap her neck.
Applesauce, bitch.
Applesauce? Are they about to make out or is she about to murder her? She's making out so far.
Because, you know, this,
Okay.
didn't they get in trouble because they made this girl look too much like Ellen Page in the first game?
I think so.
Really?
They did.
I think
The girl in the first game
All
looked
right,
just
dude.
like Ellen Page. Oh my god! Oh!
Oh, and now we are
Oh god! Yeah!
watching.
Stab 'em.
Is that the same
This
girl?
is the same girl, yeah.
Stabbing her in the and is this current?
Stabbing
No, that's
some
not the
dude.
same girl that she.
Oh yeah, it's not the same girl. Stabbing some dude in the
Some
neck in
bald
the woods.
guy.
Is she wearing
this is
current day
gameplay.
clothes or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is gameplay.
so this is the
This
gameplay.
This
She
is
just.
What you would play.
Why did she just make out with a girl and start stabbing a dude in the neck?
Don't know. That's something for the story.
That's something for the story. So you gotta. Okay. This is really cool looking. Creepy. Broke down vehicle. Trudging through the water. Like you're in Vietnam. So you'd be playing as this girl, dude hanging.
Yeah.
This is atmosphere.
So in the first one, what was the story of it? What was
Zombie outbreak.
Zombie Outbreak.
Yeah.
And is this character the same character from the
character,
first?
just older.
Older.
Yep.
How old was she in the first one? You said they made her look like Ellen Page.
I want to say like 11. Maybe,
Okay.
something like that, you know?
So now
could
she
be wrong.
is supposed to
Somebody
be like teens. I'd say Kristen Stewart in the vampire movies, Twilights. She's like that age. She's supposed to be. She kind of reminded me of her for a brief second, but I think that was just more the
Kristen
ambiance of the
Stewart's
scene.
skin in real life was more perfect than this girl's
This
CGI
shit-
skin.
This
Yeah,
shit
you
is
would
fucking
think that.
brutal, though. Like shit they can't do in movies. They're just going. to
Are they
keep-
disemboweling that
Yeah,
guy?
dude.
Oh shit! See, yeah, this is so far. This like you have to find your way to this spot.
I don't know where this is taking place inside
Okay.
this game, but there's a lot of shit like this in the first, where you're just trying to survive. Like you're trying to get to wherever you're going.
Okay,
And
so
you
you have a
find
set
things.
like direction. Like, are
Yeah,
you
but
are you
this
being?
might be open world. I don't
Okay.
know anything about it as far as that.
So if it's open world, it's basically post-apocalyptic GTA,
Pretty much, yeah.
which
Yeah,
is a
but you
game
can't really
I
like just
enjoy.
go around killing people in this. It's like you gotta be a lot more careful.
Yeah, your resources are low. Like you'll see here, like she only has 4 arrows right now. Shit just gets. It looks fucking insane. And sorry guys, this is a longer trailer.
This is a longer trailer, but
This
if
is
you're
the longer
watching, this
trailer.
is intense,
Yeah.
and you have no idea why you clicked on the link you clicked on, which is making me giggle inside a lot.
Just make my butthole tense up a little bit.
But just like the details, like
Yeah.
you're pressed up against the car instead of just sitting there, like.
Well, the
man.
fire and the grass are.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! All right. See, I feel like it would take me a while to figure out how to do like each defensive
Oh
move.
my
like
god!
that's.
Oh, it's brutal!
Whoa. She's all about the jugular. She knows how to kill.
Oh yeah.
So
oh,
she's
right in
been
the eyeball!
she's been killing since she was a kid.
Yes.
And you
And
said she has
like,
superpowers,
not necessarily superpowers, but she
like
has
heightened
specific-
senses,
yeah,
or
shit like that,
she's
yeah.
just better at survival. Is she 100% solo?
I don't know. In the first game,
Okay.
she wasn't.
This is why you should mow. Get a landscaper.
Yeah, for real. What's
Zach needs more work.
Fucking landscapers.
Oh.
Wow.
Do we know the year this is supposed to take place? Is this future from now? Current day?
I
future
believe
from
so,
now,
right?
yeah. It's future from now. I'm pretty sure. At least the first game. should
Like
be
the
future.
technology of today pretty much was available at the end of it all.
Yeah.
So the vehicles, that's why we're seeing broken down vehicles that don't look super crazy old.
Where
Alright.
Fallout was like if it ended in the 50s.
Yeah. Oh, that guy
Which
just
new
ducked
Fallout
down and didn't
76?
even look the other way. Hit him in the dick. Hit him in the dick.
In the dick.
The knee or the dick? Oh, in the face right now. That's even better. Was that a dude or a lady?
I think that was a lady.
Why would you pull her out and then just try to strangle her and punch her? You literally have a hatchet.
Yeah.
Pull her out with the hatchet in your hand.
Exactly.
All right, I got some words
Is
to
this
say
gonna
with
be
the
hard as
creator.
fuck?
This looks like it's gonna be
This looks
terribly hard.
Terribly difficult.
Yeah.
Or is
This-
it all like quick time easiness?
No. Definitely not. I mean, I'm sure there's quick time events that are going on.
I feel like you'd be dead. Like, do you think this is a game? Do you respawn where you last were? Is there a check-in that you respawn at?
For some of them,
threw a bottle at a lady, and then you have a gun and you're not using it at all times.
She doesn't have any bullets. She doesn't have bullets.
Where do you get bullets? Just off of dead people?
Randomly. Like
so it's just like okay. Is there a store aspect to this?
No.
All right, so it's literally finding everything in the world.
Like you can craft
she
things.
just pulled out. Was that out of her cheek or shoulder?
Shoulder.
I don't know how they don't hear her breathing. You could hear me breathing if I wasn't being like attacked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Visually, this looks about as good as I can possibly. I mean, every time video games get to the point where it's as good as I can possibly imagine it, yeah. And I think I've said it in the past that I think my brain is just waiting for video games to get up to my level so we can have what they had in The Island, where you're actually fighting with your real hands and doing stuff in 2 different rooms, but you gotta.
So whoa! She picks up.
She just pulled a fucking arrow out of a kid.
Yep.
Put it in her satchel. Her arrow holster. So this is an old cosmetic shop.
Quiver would be.
Yeah.
Quiver?
See,
is that what that is?
Now
quiver?
Quiver, where you keep your
oh, so now she's okay.
She got material to craft something.
She's making a nice blush.
Yep.
Oh
she
man!
Just crafted a bomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, the good thing about a knife is you don't need bullets.
Right.
Jesus.
She's getting fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm dead already in this. Is this a shoe store now? What are they in?
No, there's some that's... I mean, it might just be a generalized store.
Oh. That dude is not afraid of hitting a small girl.
Jesus.
You know, and they say video games promote violence, but I don't think so. I think it's just training you for when there's a post-apocalyptic war and you gotta cut a dude's head almost off. See, that's why they specify she cut a dude's head clean off. That's not clean.
That's not clean.
That is... She's not clean now either.
No.
That girl would not be making out with her at this moment. Oh, are we going to transition back to her making out with that girl at this... Up, and there we go.
You're so smart,
Smart.
Cover her in blood. And then... Go back to her making out.
The original reveal trailer for this was awesome. She was playing guitar.
Yeah.
There was a cover. I forget what the cover was, but it was so fucking good. Dude.
So that's it? That's the trailer for that one.
That's the trailer for that one.
Wow.
That's pretty brutal looking.
That is okay. I mean, after watching that, I don't think I'd be good at that game. Okay. I think that would be Dark Souls level frustration and just beating the crap out of.
Even for people that play games, it still has that. But is it enough from that trailer to get you?
I would watch you playing it.
Okay, so
I would watch you playing it. And if you were like, yo, you gotta play like you do sometimes, you're playing now, and I'll just be like, all right, I'll figure it out. Yeah. And I would just die a bunch. But if it's open world in any way, I would definitely do a lot of exploring. I think that's I don't know. Maybe it's like looking at it more of like I like the
walking around finding things. There are plenty of games that
and it's like the art of what they had to do, the time and the energy, like to say that I've watched TV that was on a video game seems ridiculous, but I've sat there, like when I lived with Richard, I'd sit there and we would watch TV shows that were on GTA 5 and they were good, and I'm like, somebody wrote, like they hired television writers, they produced it, like that's interesting to me. This does look like from the story aspect, it gets me. I'm curious as hell, and they're doing a really good job of teasing with like what the hell.
Makes great fucking stories. Like their writing is just insane. Like they've done what the fuck was that game? Nathan Drake, Uncharted, which is fucking basically Indiana Jones.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like you're going through. It's if you know what Tomb
I do
Raider
like
is,
Indiana
Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. The crazy story.
The male version of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Did either of you see the new Tomb Raider movie?
did not.
Did it come out?
I don't think it's out yet.
No?
I've seen trailers.
I was gonna say, I feel
It
like
looks
that came out
awesome.
and
It looks
failed
like the
and
new
then went
games.
away. Yeah?
It looks like the new games, yeah. And they
I'll
have
definitely
good
see that
games.
movie. All right, so what do we have up next?
All right, so the next one is Captain Spirit, prequel to Life is Strange 2.
Okay.
All right, so Life is Strange is a Square Enix game, the guys that make Final Fantasy and shit like that.
Okay.
They made this. And you know what? I'm guilty of not playing the first one even when it was free. But it's
So it's
just,
a really good game?
yeah. I mean, it is actually supposedly an amazing game. It's just
Okay.
I have not gotten to it.
Okay.
But from what I understand, it's just story driven. You're playing through a story, nothing crazy, nothing like it's just life in a sense. You're playing through a story of life.
So it's a Sims style?
No, you'll
No?
see.
Okay.
But this game looks fucking cool as hell.
A prequel for Life is Strange 2. This one's a shorter 7-minute video.
7-minute video, yes.
All right,
Oh, that
William
sounds
Hella.
awesome.
Hope you're all going well. Sorry for disappearing
What the fuck?
again. During Microsoft's E3 press
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry, I pulled
this
up the wrong
douche.
fucking
Oh,
video. I'm sorry, everybody. Hold on.
bad video.
Yeah.
Bad video. Well, so far I didn't like that guy's voice. I hope he's not on the actual game.
Yeah, hold on. My bad. Captain Spirit, Jesus.
Well,
I'm trying to sync this.
trying to sync this. We're trying to do new things. We're trying to be up to date and hip and toka. Also, probably a good time to mention. We talked about what Zach was drinking. But I am not drinking tonight because I was sick as fuck yesterday. So I've got medicine in my body that needs to take its course. So I am not. I'm drinking some purified drinking water, which was the only way you could buy this drinking water or any drinking water in Dollar General today was if you bought a 24-pack of water. But they had plenty of various sizes of Twinkie ice cream.
Ooh.
So that's available,
Did you get
just so you know.
that too?
I did not, because I haven't been able to keep anything but plain chicken down. I ate a taco at work, like just meat, cheese, ate it real quick. Like a half hour later, I was like, that was the worst decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And I usually love those tacos, because they're delicious. My body's just not holding anything. All right, next video. We think we got it.
I think I got it.
All right, let's do it. Let's watch things.
Let's watch it. Okay.
All right, this is only a 2-minute trailer.
Sufjan Stevens.
That is Sufjan.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Sufjan.
Sufjan?
I have no idea. Sufjan?
Surf dude Stevens.
Surf guy Steve. All right, this one less realistic looking. An original story.
It's just me, Captain Spirit.
This kid is Captain Spirit.
This is Chris from Flying Fortress. Have you spotted Snowmancer? Not yet. Keep me posted.
Snowmancer.
Okay, Dad. You're drinking beer?
I don't need a lecture from my son.
Oh,
Picked the class for the team at school.
lose your kid with a drunk dad?
They can't tell stories like you can they?
No way.
That guy's beard is on point. Nice light beard.
Too late. Emergency.
This kid's too young to be driving a dead car.
You're right.
So is the game his imagination?
I think so.
Okay. Is this in any way you're building what's going on, or is it just explore?
I think you're exploring, finding
Okay.
things, type of adventure game.
Now, does the game end at sundown when he has to be in for dinner?
Probably.
That'd be weird if the game just would not let you play after a certain amount of time
That would
in
actually
your
be
time
a cool
zone.
mechanic, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you just couldn't play it during the nighttime.
You're just stuck in the room.
could
You got to
just
find
change the
ways
time
to.
on your computer,
Yeah,
you know.
you could, but you could just also
Not play the game.
wait 7 hours until the sun comes up. I don't know how the sun or time works. That looks weird.
Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Download for free from June 26th.
Oh, it's gonna be available for free.
It's episodic,
Oh.
so you'll be able to play the first one, but
Okay, so they're gonna
Come on,
wait. They're
episodes.
releasing video games in episodes now.
Yeah.
So it's a storyline that you play through, and it takes you like a half hour or something like that to play through.
probably.
Huh. And then okay, that's kind of a genius idea.
Would you play that?
episodic gets me into it. Like something I can
mean,
play
it's
for
just
a
an
half
adventure game where
hour.
you're going around
Yeah.
finding shit
But if
to
it's
do.
like a set period of time, like if it's like, okay, this is a half hour and I can do this once a week and every week it comes out for a couple months and then I don't play. Like if I treat it like the way I treat TV, yeah, I would do that. Like that would be
they
on.
They might be an hour long. but
Well,
still.
yeah, either way, like a set amount of time is basically what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't want to be lost. Oh no, I see what the next one's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
You
Let's
ready?
bring it.
All right, hold on. Hopefully this is the right video.
We're hoping, crossing our fingers. It's a thing called pre-production. We don't bother
This is
with
the right
it. East River, New York City, Supermax. Oh, is this Escape from New York? The
Yes.
game.
Yes.
I'm immediately in. Except, no, I know it. You said it was Spiderman?
Yes.
It's a Spiderman video?
It's a new Spider-Man game.
I'm glad I didn't watch this. I almost hit this because, is this where there's multiple Spider-Mans?
Let's go.
I mean,
No,
they might-
that's a movie.
Oh.
That's coming
Oh,
out.
that's a cartoon that's coming out? Okay. Because I'd play that game where you get to pick which Spider-Man you are.
Well, this is Spider-Man, but GTA.
Spider-Man what?
GTA, basically.
Open world Spider-Man game? Okay, I'm in on that, just kind of immediately.
Yeah.
That is... I mean, when we played GTA, we generally were dropping helicopters and limousines out of the sky with weird codes that we'd find.
Yeah. Just we're driving around.
That looks... Oh.
You okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? That guy looks pretty real. That guy looks not as
Oh,
real.
God.
They spent a lot of money on that one dude's face.
Why is he letting everyone out?
That was Electro?
Yeah.
They didn't go with the Jamie Foxx Electro?
I'll go
I
join
don't
the
think
party.
so.
They didn't. He looks paler.
Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you.
Haha.
So this is actual gameplay now.
Okay, this is gameplay. See, the big thing is also Peter Parker's dialogue there. So
Sure.
you get a little hint there of him being kind of jokey. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to be worse than Tobey Maguire's dialogue as Spider-Man. So that'll probably be entertaining enough.
Like fish in a barrel.
Like fish in a barrel? No. It sounds like a rumbly and a tumbly. Oh. He opened the door for you at least. That's
Right,
nice.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Oh. Rhino?
Wait, is this Spider-Man Arkham Asylum?
Sort of.
Wait, is Arkham Asylum just this but Batman?
Sort of.
You're Batman
Sorta.
and you're trying to get
It
them
looks
all?
like the way that he's like.
Yeah, I think the combat.
Fighting?
The
The
combat
combat
is the
looks
same
like it.
way. Which the combat system is good because
Okay.
you can button mash and fucking
I do like a good button masher.
yeah. I'm more excited to just fucking swing around the city, man.
Yeah, I think I'll spend the most time, kind of like with GTA, you spend most of the time driving and exploring and stopping places. I'm going to spend the most time trying to see how I can get on the top of every building and flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Because that's going to come in handy when you actually do gameplay of actually being able to control yourself in that way. So it'd be good training and an excuse for me just to swing around buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
You remember when Spider-Man was coming out? They originally had that movie poster for it that was Spider-Man strung up between the Twin Towers, and then 9/11 happened, and,
Oh,
and they took
yeah.
it down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since then, I've always... Jeez, he is creepy looking. Ever since then, I've always wanted to string myself up between two buildings like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And in this
looks
game, I'd be able to
fucking
do it.
awesome, dude. Like,
If you tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you. Can't stop it.
This is all gameplay?
this is all gameplay.
See, this again looks super hard as hell, but this looks like something I could
This is
probably...
gonna be so easy. You just
Yeah,
hit a
it's
button.
you're just
Hit a
hitting
button,
buttons.
hit a button,
Really?
hit a
Yeah.
button. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you gotta do a lot more than hit a
No,
button.
No.
It takes care of most of it.
So it's a lot of guesstimating on, like, direction.
It's
Ooh.
timing. So like when you're flying through, you know.
Is this Bane?
No, it's-
Bane's not Marvel.
I know. But he had a mask.
You see when those things pop up, then you probably just hit that button.
Yeah.
Alright.
You stick to it.
Well, it looks like the entire population of the
Oh damn! Why do they always put these super secure prisons right next to giant metropolises?
Yeah, right?
No idea. Dude.
Why are they always getting broken into and the criminals getting loose?
Yeah. You would think that this super secure prison would have both the ability to be super and secure. Because somehow they were keeping all of these guys at bay. Where's the tech for that coming from? Is this Stark Industries doing?
Yep.
Oh, Stark. Ruining the bad guys' fun. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, you can run up walls and everything. Yeah. I would probably spend a lot of time upside down in someone's random apartment if I can go into a random apartment.
Trying to get that upside down kiss? Kirsten Dunst?
Just by every girl. I'm just going to hang by one intersection. Just wait for people to walk and be like, kiss, kiss, kiss. Can I get a kiss? Would you want to kiss me? How do you like my new suit? He looks like the kid from Bronx Tale all grown up. Yeah. Oh, lordy. Paul Giamatti's back. Oh, is that Spidey Vision?
I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know who that guy is.
Grayscale.
Oh.
Shit like that. I don't know.
What? What the hell? Now, is there anybody that does the voice for Spider-Man in the video games that's, like, recognizable? That's, like, been doing it?
I didn't look that up.
They just have...
This is a brand new, like, game.
So, within video games, though, I mean, do...
Oh, there are people that dress...
That's like, I mean, Mark Hamill did the Joker for years and years.
He still does it.
Yeah, still does it.
For the video games.
For the video games?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, Spidey got stabbed!
Stabbed in the back. And now he's getting the shit kicked out of him. He'd be dead.
This is not realistic.
No, he'd be so dead right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have his super awesome suit from the latest Marvel's movie. Come on.
Oh, I just realized that this is the Amazing Spider-Man, so he has technology, not...
Oh, he has technology.
Well, he still has mutation.
He's mutated, like, but with but it's within Marvel, like within like, is it supposed to be under like the same like the Homecoming brand and all of that?
I don't know.
No, I don't think. I think it's just a game. It has nothing to do with the movies.
Okay, that's crazy. I mean, that one's a definite yes, just because
to actually play.
To play.
The PS2 one was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
The open world aspect of it, I'm definitely in on. The gameplay, we would see how it do with just like the actual ability. Fun with it. Yeah, if you're saying it's mashing buttons.
When you know, basically you point a direction and he's gonna go to where that enemy is.
Okay.
Like, so even if it's over there, if you press back and then the attack button, it's gonna fucking hop over. Like, that's how Batman was. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what made the combat so much fun, because you were just fucking people up.
The first game I remember like that though was Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
Oh.
They had a game. Isn't that a show or no?
Yeah. It was
okay.
Samuel L. Jackson was in the game too.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh, sweet.
And you know, RZA still did the soundtrack. It's an amazing game.
Yeah. No, it is.
Fuck.
Yep.
I've been missing
that fought like that, except that game was brutally difficult.
All right, so what do we got for the next
one? This one is going to be brutally difficult.
This one is going to be the most difficult.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
It is the same people that make Dark Souls.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it's set in like a samurai setting.
Like. Okay. Is it futuristic Japan?
No, it's like feudal Japan.
Feudal Japan.
It looks awesome, dude. Like,
there are some like weird like shit. It's
tech advancements
but it's more like
witchcraft.
Like in that moment.
No, like stuff made out of like stuff they didn't have, but made out of stuff they would have had, like ropes and like
visually,
stuff.
like it looks like a From Software game.
They got ropes.
It looks like
ropes.
a From Software game, so it has that Dark Souls look to it, but it doesn't look like Dark Souls.
Okay.
Like, just the imagery, like you'll see them when they're like standing on the cloud or whatever the fuck it is, like. It's just
is this a Japanese release that's like dubbed over in English?
It will. Well,
From Software is from Japan.
Yeah, they're a Japanese company.
Okay.
But the other big reveal is that Activision has some hand in this. So it's Activision and From Software.
And what is Activision?
They make Call of Duty.
Oh shit!
Partnered with Blizzard.
So wait, it's a rumor that they have something to do with it?
No, this is
definitely they. Okay, all right, okay.
So we'll just get into it.
Let's get into it. What's up, kitten? Cero?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Zero. Oh, right off the bat, some fire.
There's always fire in these games.
Oh, was that like an angry Buddha? Oh.
Yeah, like this, like it just looks
Ooh.
visually stunning, dude.
This is creepy looking. I can definitely see the relation to Dark Souls immediately.
That's what I'm saying.
Visually.
It doesn't look like Dark Souls.
No, but it's you can tell.
It's Dark Souls. That thing,
Yeah.
You know?
What the fuck is that thing? Sweet.
This is scary.
Using the Star Wars logo font there. Yeah. Good move. Oh. What are these things?
I have no idea what I'm.
They're not in the first game? Is this
No,
a sequel?
every game
No, this is a
different,
new
man.
game.
Brand
Oh,
new.
so
Completely
the,
new.
the word twice in there has nothing to do with it being okay. Oh, it's rare that something has the word twice or two or something in it, and it's not a sequel.
Well, it just means you're gonna die a lot.
Okay. Well, you did say Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. I remember watching you guys play some of those giant motherfuckers in that game.
Look at this fucking guy, dude.
Jesus. Is the character you play, is he purple?
Nah.
Or is it just a weird tone?
I mean, they always have characters looking fucked up if they die and shit.
Oh, fuck. More neck shots.
When it gets
What
into
the
like
fuck
those,
is
some of
this?
the combat, like you see him parry, it's crazy. Who will knock back this one attack?
This is like Japanese Norse mythology.
Yeah, dude.
Like a level of...
Parried that shit, like.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely watching you play that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Sweet bridge. And a giant snake. Giant snake. Is that scarier than dragon to you? Giant snake. Because that big of a snake can get itself, its head, it can sit up like a snake still. So it's going to get its head all the way up in the atmosphere. I think he's going to have better eyesight. And he's going to be able to pick people out.
You're right.
Giant snake, I think.
don't want to fight either.
Well, dragons, I don't think they really breathe fire. I think that's a myth.
No, so I think breathe ice.
To
They
me,
breathe
the way
ice.
they make dragons look a lot is like a cat with wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't move. They move
Well,
more
what
like
dragons?
they move like you know.
Or dogs.
Yeah, see, I like the original Peach Dragon. Just a nice green cartoon.
Yeah. That was a great movie.
It was a great movie. I didn't see
Well,
that
what about the
remake.
new one?
I didn't see it.
I didn't
He
see it.
looked real furry and Loch Nessy, but above water. He looked like a giant cat with wings, actually.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
Come to think of it, that's what he looked like.
If
All
you
right.
look at the way
No,
the
he
Game of
looked
Thrones
like a fucking
dragons move,
alligator.
Yeah.
they
Crocodile.
sit and they move and turn like it's
Yeah.
very feline.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Well, yeah, and then they do have the addiction to their owner that a cat does have as well.
I wish the cat had wings. That'd be cool as hell.
If your cat had wings,
Yes.
none of us would be safe. Actually, if any
Fly!
cats had wings, that would be worse than both a giant snake and an actual dragon.
What about half tiger, half unicorn?
Half tiger,
It's
half
a
which
tiger
half?
with wings and a horn.
Huh.
Yeah.
So isn't that just a griffin with a horn? That's a
A
lion
griffin's a
though,
lion.
and an eagle.
And
Oh, well. All right. So overall, out of those
Well,
games,
the last one is the one I'm most excited.
this is the one you're. Oh, I thought the one that you just showed me was the most
Yeah,
exciting.
that's one.
The last one that we
Yeah,
just
that
watched.
one.
Oh, is there one more?
No, that's
Okay, so that's it.
This is it.
That one is the one that immediately kind of visually it grips you a lot. Not having any tie to a character or anything like the Spider-Man one I'm in because it's Spider-Man and you said, open world. But yeah, that one I'm definitely gonna watch you play it. I don't see me being that good at it or wanting to get myself frustrated that much. But I'll watch you guys throw things at the wall out of anger and laugh along with you.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be a great
Yeah.
time. All right, well, we're gonna go to our last break. We're gonna be jumping in with we got 2 songs from
songs,
Mr.
yeah.
Mr. Andy Moose. So thank you to Andy Moose, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye-bye. And we're back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you to Mr. Andy Moose for supplying that music. It makes me feel like I'm on an elevator that I don't want it to stop going anywhere.
Yeah.
And if I was in an elevator that just took like 20 minutes and I was in there, I'd be all right with it. You would lose track of time.
Do you think it's one of those things where if you're in an elevator and that's playing before you know it, 30 years of your life are gone? Like you just happen through, like you don't even realize you're on that elevator anymore.
Maybe that's what he's doing. How long have we been live? Up and away. It's like the glass elevator. Oh, does it go down? Well, then eventually you come out the other side, which isn't that far because the Earth is flat. So it doesn't take that long to go through the flat Earth.
It's got to go back up, though.
It's got to go back up, but maybe it goes sideways at that point along like the underbelly, the top of the shell of the tortoise that we're floating through in space.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's a real thing that people thought at one point. Oh, it'd be great.
Conspiracy.
Oh, conspiracy. No, that's actually a real thing that at one point people thought that we were shuttling through space on the back of a giant tortoise, which I think we should go back to that. It makes more sense if you don't think about it at all.
I don't think about it at all.
Yeah. Well, for the last little bit here, I wanted to discuss two things that kind of happened in the news recently, or in the world of entertainment and music and that. The first and the sad one really is Anthony Bourdain died.
Yeah.
And that
hung himself.
He hung himself. Which it sucks. It's a personality that you can watch, and in retrospect, you can, in hindsight, you can kind of see like, okay, like that, the personality and maybe there were signs of like depression, but it's like really you're just looking at it with the mindset of, oh, they just killed themselves. Now I can see all of these things that weren't really there. Because if you showed, I don't know, I don't want to pick a real celebrity to hypothetically do this, so I'm just gonna say if somebody named, I don't know, Ryan Seacrest like hung himself tomorrow, would we all look back and go, see, you can tell how depressed he is? Like would that happen? I don't know, but it's sad. It sucks.
Actually, were you really that surprised with Bourdain?
Yeah, I thought for suicide. I thought if it had been an accidental like overdose or something along those lines.
My brother, I'm like, yo, dude, Bourdain died. He said cirrhosis.
Cirrhosis.
I was like, no, he hung himself, and he's like, oh.
Yeah. That reminds me of the time that remember that one time that Dale Earnhardt died.
It was just so bad that they're like,
that's nothing like how Dale.
No. When Dale Earnhardt died, somebody, your brother said something kind of similar to what I said to Dale. Someone went, Dale Earnhardt died, and I went, what, did he turn left? And they went, or what I say, did he not turn left? And they went, yeah. I was like, oh, and then they got really sad. We were at a church event, so it was good for me to make those jokes. It wasn't loud. We were snow tubing when it happened. It was fine.
Then you could. Earnhardt went out doing what he loved, racing.
Yeah.
And Bourdain went out doing what he loved too, bitching about something.
Yeah, probably. I bet his last words were, "This noose doesn't look that great," and then just. And that was it.
Do you think that he got super fucked up one last time and then did it?
I don't know, because he was clean, right? He had been clean. That's what I thought. Like if it was anything,
like, if you were gonna go out, like if there was one thing, like if you could do another drug and you're like, you know that you're doing that and then killing yourself.
I don't know. See, I've always said that if I ever find out I have a terminal illness, I'm getting a boat and going out to sea with anything that I can think of stocking the boat with and just going crazy, basically.
Right.
So that's my.
Can we come with you?
Yeah. Anybody that wants to come with me.
And then when you die, we'll just turn.
You get a boat.
And come back.
You got a boat. You could live in it too. It could be a houseboat. You guys are experienced with those things.
The SS Kyle died here.
The SS Kyle died here is a good name for a boat for me to be getting on to go out to ocean for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That's about as confident as I would be if I wasn't planning on doing that, going out into the ocean by myself.
Never been in the ocean on a boat?
Not as deep as I would say I've been in the ocean in a boat. I've been on like a fishing boat, like a little bit off the coast, but never like way out there.
Yeah, me neither. I've never been deep.
I've never been so far. Yeah. I've been so far I can't see the land necessarily, but it was not a mountainous area. I was out so far in California at this place called the Leo. I was out so far that on a surfboard because my roommate said just paddle out a bit, that a boat went by me and I turned around and I was like very far. I just kept paddling, going, I'm trying to get used to it, and I thought I had an image of something like my periphery that was
you lost
much farther away than I thought it was. And I just went out and I heard, and a boat goes by. I'm like, okay. And by the time I got back to shore, it's about a half a mile, away. It was pretty good. I didn't surf it all the way back. I just paddled all the way back and then clung to the board. It was my first time ever.
Surfing's hard.
It's terrible. I've gotten up like once or twice and then fallen down very, very quickly.
Very difficult.
So Anthony Bourdain, that's upsetting. But then something that's upsetting some people in the world is As I Lay Dying has released a new song with the original lineup.
Did you watch the video?
I didn't watch the video. I listened to the song. Somebody posted it.
The video specifically is very hard to get.
Well, I don't want to
Whether you
look at
like
his
the
face.
song- whether you like the song,
Yeah.
or whatever your fucking thoughts.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I don't really want to look at his face just because the story behind it is that he hired a hitman to kill his wife, and then the band turned and went, well, we weren't really like that good of friends with him. We didn't really know him that well, and now that he's out and everything's done, they're just kind of like. Tired of smearing cream cheese on bagels, so let's go be a band again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were doing anything, like if they were playing in the meantime, I'm sure, but it does kind of seem like maybe a little bit of a cash grab, a little bit of really just trying to make an impact by going, we're back together. But then it could also, on the flip side, be the guy was really messed up for a really long time.
On steroids.
Went crazy.
Roid raged out.
Yeah.
And I know people that have been in relationship with somebody that have gone that crazy and realized that it was just like it was a chemical imbalance that it was either self-imposed or natural or whatever. And you can work through it in that respect. So I can see as like if they're really good friends with him, but that's where it takes me to them like kind of distancing themselves when it originally happened. So that kind of people are up in arms that the band would accept them back. Certain people like Jamie Josta said that he, was like excited to hear the music, and when he sees them in person, he'll talk to them in person type of thing, because that's more a personal thing for him. He actually knows them. But as a fan, aside from whether you like it or not, which we'll get to, is it possible for you specifically to separate the art from the artist?
Most of the time I do.
Okay.
It really depends. If it's something that affects what they do, then no.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't necessarily pick an example of how
yeah.
it would affect, like,
yeah,
I don't know, somebody does something fucked up and they're an actor and fucks up their acting ability.
Yeah.
Or just their persona to begin with.
But this is sort of different because now it's after the fact.
It's after the
I
fact.
mean, like those, like the movie stars that did something fucked up. Then you can, at the old stuff, you can be like, well, that was before I knew that.
Yeah.
But now that's like, no, this happened, and now there's a new song.
There's a new
I mean,
song.
Like if Kevin Spacey had a new movie next year.
Yeah. How many people are really going to go see it?
I mean, I would see it.
And then you also get into the conversation that plenty of people will probably get into over the next couple of years is how long is enough time? Because for Mel Gibson, it was about 6 years.
Right.
6 years for being an anti-Semite in like the most Semitic town in the world.
Didn't he have like random outbursts between those periods?
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely still
what I
like
mean?
had
So,
like drunk flare-ups
so that definitely
and nasty
didn't help him in
like
any
emails
sense.
or something. Maybe I think it was voicemails. No, maybe that was Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it took him like 6 years to kind of get back into like, okay, we can work with him again. Kevin Spacey like could be done for forever. Harvey Weinstein's pretty much done for forever. I don't see him ever having a comeback. But this is like 4 or 5 years later.
And you know what? His wife didn't die.
She didn't die.
Because he didn't actually hire a hitman. It was a sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cop, an undercover cop. Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, I want to kill my wife. So he was like, come on, hey, I'll kill your wife. He's like, all right, here's somebody, go kill my wife. That's sort of, at that point, it's just
Taking
like,
advantage of a deranged person.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a little
To a little bit.
I don't
To a
know.
little degree.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
I mean,
And
I
that's
don't
the
know
thing with.
guy,
Yeah.
Nor was I a big fan of him specifically.
Maybe his
I liked
wife
the
was
music,
a bitch.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Maybe. Maybe. You don't know.
I don't
like,
know what
maybe
happened.
he was crazy, roided up, and she was terrible to him. And he just went nutso one day. Maybe she was the sweetest thing, though. Like, we don't know that personal situation. So, as a fan, you have to be able to go into listening to something, like you said, something new, and go, okay, like, do I like this song as a song? Do I like it if I'm an As I Lay Dying fan? Am I a fan of this based on their earlier work? The way you would do it if nothing had ever happened. Right. It's just been 6-7 years since an album. We got a new album. Like, are you able to separate enough to listen to it in that way? And then you did.
Yes.
And your thoughts?
I don't particularly like the song.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's because I'm out of that phase or style.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's still pretty true to what they sounded like.
Yeah, I mean, I still love
He
metal.
Sounds the same as he's always sounded.
I still love metal and I still love all that shit, but I don't know. It just didn't.
Well, I think that especially that metalcore scene that was coming around in that time frame and everything that kind of poured out of that. What was that? Oh, I thought that came out of my voice. Oh no, that was your butt.
Now I have a question for you.
Yes.
If we weren't so involved with other people's lives, like you didn't have the information readily at your disposal anytime that you wanted. Let's just say it was the 50s and you just couldn't get that information.
Yeah.
And this band that you like just ends up going away for how long did he go away for?
He was in jail. I think the whole ordeal was like the last 4 or 5 years, something along those lines.
They disappeared for
Didn't
5
research
years,
very well.
And then they suddenly come back out with music, and you're like, oh, there they are. You know
there they are, yeah.
Like, would you necessarily...
In 1955 to 1962, I wouldn't have known that the guy tried to kill his wife and then went away. Yeah. And that's
that would not affect you in any way.
It wouldn't affect you, exactly.
We're so caught up in...
you can even look at that with historical figures. Like, if you were aware of everything JFK did as, like, at the ready of how we are today with, like, every single person that's a celebrity.
They wouldn't treat JFK the same way they treat Trump.
No. Like, I mean, maybe they would. Maybe, I don't know. It would change the whole scope of everything.
He used to bang Marilyn Monroe.
He did that. And if we had known about that, would that have changed during that time frame of who he was? It probably would have been an easier way to get rid of him if they had attacked it that way. But yeah, nowadays we're just super exposed to everything. And so for me, it kind of like, because, I mean, you brought up Kevin Spacey. He's an actor. Like, in 1 week, I had 4 of my favorite people in 4 different fields get outed for something. Or not in a week, but in a short period of time. Right. Kevin Spacey got outed. Louis C.K. got outed. The dude from Brand New, Jesse Lacey, got outed for soliciting nudes from girls like 10 years ago or whatever.
Come on, you never listened to any of his lyrics?
He literally was telling you what he was doing.
And he was scumbag.
He was. I still listen to Louis C.K. That's the thing.
I'm just saying, like, you've never listened to what Louis C.K.
Yeah, what he said. He's probably somewhere done that a bit about that on stage. It just didn't get recorded. Like, there's a good chance. Like, he was like, one day I was in a hotel room and
that As I Lay Dying song, it goes, I want to kill my wife. When I'm at the gym, I'm going to hire a guy to kill my wife.
I forgot about that one.
That's on the second album.
Yeah, the Hang My Wife song, right?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't really remember that. I think you're making that up. You piece of shit liar. Maybe.
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
Chalk it up to the Mandela effect.
I'm chalking everything up to the Mandela effect. I could chalk up this whole episode to the Mandela effect. Except I'm sober. So I can't. Oh, Lord, that is a good one. Far Guy 5. Oh, Jesus. All right, so...
Yeah, it wouldn't affect me.
It wouldn't affect you. But you listened to it, you didn't really like the song.
Do you want me to play it?
I don't really. I never really liked them that much. I wasn't super... I don't know, I was in that scene mostly because of all my friends were in bands that sounded like that or liked bands, so I was on the cusp of that scene. Sure. And I saw them once. It was a fun live show, but I just remember feeling like they came off as a bunch of douchebags.
I mean, for that band, it was more the music that they made than the screaming.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they had some really cool riffs and
a
lot of cool
94 hours, dude?
And if I was more into metal growing up, it would have made sense for me to do that. But people were listening to metal in the 90s growing up, and I was listening to doo-wop and the Beatles and stuff, so it makes sense that I liked ska and pop punk around the time that everybody's getting into this. Yeah. But I mean, if you look at it, like if one of my favorite artists were to come out and it just be like it did with Jesse Lacey, like, that sucks. They're not putting out any more music because they already were done. But I think they might have had like an album. Science Fiction. Science Fiction came out like literally the week that this all unfolded. I think I saw their second to last performance. So like for me, I'm gonna listen to all the songs I always listen to. I'm gonna know what he did and everything, and that's fine. But I'm not gonna stop doing that. I'm not gonna stop watching Usual Suspects. I'm not gonna stop watching things that existed previous to this, and because one of my favorite quotes from a movie ever, it's actually I think it's an Orson Welles starred movie called The Third Man, and it's a person doesn't change just because you found out more,
Right.
and it's like that person and everything they've ever done isn't different. Your perspective changes, and that's the thing that you got to look at. So with this, I never really liked them, so it really doesn't affect me in any way. But then with Anthony Bourdain, it's like, does anything change looking back? Are you going to watch things differently? Does that overshadow it so much?
No, man. I mean, when I was watching his show, I was just trying to learn different cultures and different food.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And it's still there, and you can still do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people cling and get attached to people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm calling it now. When Bill Murray's time is up,
oh
it's
my
going
lord!
To be fucking, like, people
him and Michael J. Fox.
People are going to fucking like
and Steve Martin, but mostly Bill Murray.
Yeah, like. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Anybody else who'd like to die?
I would have said
Like,
Dustin
people are
Hoffman
just
before a
going to
year
lose their
ago.
People are gonna lose their shit, but it's not because they know the dude. It's because of the memories that they have while watching.
Yeah.
That's sort of different than them getting in trouble, though.
No, it is. It is. But you're saying the attachment level.
I'm saying
so if somebody that you're super attached to dies,
I'm saying on Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people being attached to him. I don't know the guy. Like
Yeah.
I've never met him. I've never.
Your attachments
he
are
sold out when he went to CNN. Just
Yeah.
saying.
I mean, either way, I mean, I just don't get why.
Fake
Like, yeah, it
news.
sucks, man. Somebody that you've been watching.
Yeah.
You respect in a sense that you can trust the opinion of this man.
What is the obsession?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it, because there's certain people that do, like, when like Heath Ledger died at that time, I was like, holy fuck, this guy's like, I thought he was going to be the greatest actor of our generation. He was going to go on for years and years and just make movie after movie. Micah called me and we had a moment on the phone.
You fucking cried?
No, I didn't cry. Me and Keith were shouting at each other in the car. We're like, "What? Yeah, fuck this! Don't fucking."
I mean, I get that.
Yeah, but no, I don't think.
That's more on the
I think Bill Murray will be the first one that dies that I will probably have like a very heartfelt like kind of, because like you said, I attach to him in the way that I watched those movies growing up, so it's a memory of my personal childhood.
That's what you're attached to.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
the actual
not the actual person. If I knew him,
I think people get lost in that. Like, no, it's Bill Murray. Well, no, it's the memories you have while watching what Bill Murray.
Or things you really liked off a list on BuzzFeed that you read that made you go, he hangs out at Keggers, huh?
I mean, the thought of
that makes him cooler. Yeah. Or but it's his movies, it's the characters, for them.
Am I the only one sick of Bill Murray?
Maybe I don't know. I think some people are. I think it's overdone. I think it's a little bit overdone. Yeah. Yeah, it's just and his face on every T-shirt,
Well,
like.
that's what I'm saying. That was the chive shit.
Oh, is that where that started? It was a T-shirt first. I thought it was just a dumb online thing.
Well, the chive.
Okay.
And then they turned it into. T-shirts.
Okay, the chive. I was thinking of the chive on thing. I'm like, I didn't realize he was on those T-shirts. The chive on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's the same thing.
Yeah, same company.
Yeah. No, okay, I'm totally lost here, and I'm sober.
But
This week on Kyle Mocha doesn't know pop culture.
This week on we find out Kyle Mocha's way better at talking drunk. All right. Well, I think we can safely call this episode 9. And for all of you who have tuned in, I want to say sorry if we misled you in any way with the title of this episode, but it doesn't look like it worked. So, hey, I got a couple of thanks, then we're going to head out of here. I want to say thank you to everybody at Moot.tv. That is Mr. Eric. The guys that let me ask you a podcast. Let me ask you a question podcast. Anthony, Eric, and Greg, and then Greg, Eric, and Sensei Micah on White Wasabi. Also check out our friends at Not Movies, Sean Summer and Eric, a different Eric. And I don't know if Jason's still doing his thing, but it's still on their Instagram, the old episodes at least. So Jason knows nothing. You can tell I'm a really good friend because I keep up to date on how often he's put it. He put out 2 episodes probably 6 weeks ago, and I just haven't noticed he hasn't posted anything. It's what I do. All right, everybody here, I want to thank Justin, obviously, and Zach for being here.
Yeah.
And really want a big thank you to the cat for not having wings and not being able to destroy my face.
I mean, she probably could.
She could still destroy my face. I just have to make sure I'm sitting up at all times and far away from her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will check you out next week. Next week, I will be a year older.
Oh, yeah.
In a whole week. Big 3-2. Almost Jesus age. Almost there.
Almost.
Not quite.
You can join the club.
I mean, Jesus was
the
this
club of
age.
People that were crucified when they were 33 years
Yeah, it was
old?
Jesus, Belushi, Farley.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are the big three at 33.
we could kill you.
All right.
You're good. Nobody. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will check with you next week, as I said. So have a great rest of your week.
Enjoy.
Fuck!
There's nothing more egomaniacal